where do you guys stand now with Katie? Because this was just last week. All the commenting was happening. Have you guys talked?
No,
Is there
we
texting?
stand far away from her. We don't talk.
What's up, everyone? It's Chicks in the Office with Rianne Fran, giving you that Friday energy on a Friday?
Did you just forget like our entire thing?
Oh my
like
God,
our entire
I just malfunctioned.
like everything that we've ever modeled our podcast after.
If you watch on YouTube, you could see my face like genuinely freeze and go,
just
what?
like your brain just glitched. You're like, what day is it? Thursday.
Well, it's Thursday.
I know, but you know, Friday energy is kind of something we talk about.
I know.
for Friday.
We used to put out episodes on Thursdays, though. Remember, we used to say giving you that Friday energy on a Thursday.
Yeah, quite literally years ago.
That was my bad. I'm sorry. I forgot that you guys listen on Friday, and I don't know what happened.
Happy
I malfunctioned.
Friday, everyone.
Everybody has their days. Everybody knows what they're talking about. We sang that for Trent. We'll sing it for myself.
Yeah.
But I'm in a great mood today. I'm ready for the weekend. Hopefully everyone had an amazing week, ready for the weekend. Hopefully you have that Friday energy on a Friday, and hopefully you had it yesterday on Thursday too.
Exactly. All week long. I'm excited. I am going up to New Hampshire this weekend, seeing some of Joe's family, and it is supposed to snow all day Saturday.
Nice.
Like they already have a ton of snow.
Like heavy?
Yeah, like good, legit snow. Damn. Like I saw precipitation 100%. I was like, yes.
I love when that precipitation's 100%.
Precipitation 100%.
Yeah.
I'm pumped. I'm like one good snowfall. So I'm very excited.
That is very really exciting. Any fun plans for you this weekend, Noah?
Literally none. I don't have any plans as of right now.
Same. Just
I don't know what I'll end up doing.
Oh, I want to say, what do you don't have any plans?
No, I don't have any plans. I'm going to Florida on Sunday.
Oh, right. Duh.
I have a first birthday party.
I actually love first birthday parties.
Oh, like
because the parties
like
are
a baby.
Because the party is really just for all the adults.
Yeah, that's
so
on
like there's
Sunday
always
too,
good
though.
alcohol.
Yeah,
good vibes.
Mm-hmm. I don't have anything.
Nobody
planned.
really cares about the kid.
Yeah, see where it takes me.
My first birthday party.
You
popped off.
Your
party?
My
personal
first birthday
my
party?
first birthday party. I've seen videos of it. I don't recall. I don't recall it myself.
You know what? I've seen
but
videos.
We had
of
a full blown petting zoo in my backyard.
Oh, that's sick.
It was a good party.
But that was for the other kids that were showing up, I guess, because you were only one.
I was only one, but there's like videos of me in the backyard.
Did you have a lot of
first grandkids? So everybody really like. I got a lot of attention.
Did you have a lot of birthday parties growing up?
Yeah,
I didn't.
First child, like I said, first child, first grandchild,
first child.
Like everybody wanted to celebrate my birthdays.
Right. No, but when they got to me, they were like, all right, let's give it a break.
The closest in age on both sides of my family is my brother. Like I don't have a cousin that's close. I don't have a cousin that's older than my brother.
Interesting.
So I really milked that for
that's nice.
A lot of my youth. Had some great cakes. My aunt used to get these awesome cakes.
Really
Carvel?
rubbing it in.
Yeah. No, like Barbie cake, like these Little Mermaid cake.
I was always jealous of the kids who had that.
Yeah.
Listen, I had a great childhood, but my best friend growing up, she had a lot of cool birthday parties, and I kind of lived off, like I loved when her birthday came around.
Yeah. Probably
Probably more than my birthday, because she would always have cool birthday parties, like at Libby Lou.
Yeah.
Like that was really fun. You go there, you dress up.
Did you guys have what was your you had it on Long Island? It was another version of it. Like in New Jersey, ours was called Funplex, and it was like you would go as this big giant ball pit, arcade games, laser tag, go-karts. Like it had it all in one place. I feel like you guys had a version of
We
it.
must have. I remember going to something like that when I was a kid multiple times.
If you're from North Jersey, you went to a birthday party at Funplex.
Did you have a roller skating rink?
Yeah, but we had roller skating parties for school.
Yeah, same
School,
at United Skates.
Yeah, we had ours at the Florham Park roller rink.
Those are good times.
Good times.
I'm gonna make sure my kids, if they want like a really good birthday party, that they get that.
We used to just really have good ones like at our house. Like we would just do it like in the backyard, and that was so fun. I like bouncy house, always a bouncy house.
You had bouncy houses?
Yeah, bouncy house.
Man, the Marianos knew how to do it, huh?
Yeah. My dad had I wasn't even really at the party. Although it's like, isn't it funny what memories you have? Like I have a very distinct memory of my dad's 40th birthday party. It was a surprise.
Same. My dad's 40th birthday party was a surprise, and we had like 1 billion people.
Massive party at the house.
We've talked about this. We've talked about the 40th birthday because remember I said there were pictures of my mom and her friends kissing on the lips.
Oh yeah,
at my dad's 40th birthday party, which is like just something I remember so vividly.
You know what? Hearing how everybody's parents like popped off for their 40th birthdays just makes me excited.
And they had all like the over the hill signs and hats.
We
and
had
stuff.
like a chef in the kitchen. I was like, what is going on?
Oh, we had a barbecue. Like I don't even know. There was technically a theme, but I forget. But I was allowed to be at the beginning. I was allowed to be at the beginning of the party.
Birthday parties were different than mine.
I was allowed to be at the beginning of the birthday party. And then like it was like, oh, all the kids, all the kids went to the neighbor's house, like sleep in the house together, and I could just hear the party still. And
how did they surprise your dad?
I went back to the party.
How did everyone show up? Because like we went to a Mets game with just my uncle and my dad and my brother, and then when we came back, everyone was at the house.
They went golfing, my dad and my uncles. And then everybody was at the house and we were all in the front yard and they took 2 cars and one of my uncles, like my dad jokes that he was like driving like a maniac. Like they were like, what the fuck is with this guy? Like, why is he like taking these turns? So, and he flies past the house. Like he's zooming and he drives past the house. He opens the window and he's like, he's right behind me. He just keeps going, and then their car pulled into the driveway, and everyone was surprised.
Good old family fun.
Yeah. I wish you saw my house in New Jersey.
Yeah, I never quite got the invite there.
Well, I was never there. We were never there. Like I just didn't spend any time there.
Yeah.
Any like
a girl can dream.
Been to the better places.
Yeah, I've been to all your other houses.
You don't have to go to that. We don't even have. I mean, that house is sold.
What it would have been like to be at the childhood Mariano family home.
So it was a wonderful house. That's what my tattoo is with my siblings.
Do you miss it sometimes?
All the time.
Do you wish they
especially
didn't sell
around
it?
the holidays? Yeah. Well, my mom sends pictures and videos sometimes of the family that lives in the house now because she follows them on Instagram. And it's like these really, I mean, the kids are absolutely fucking adorable. They're so cute.
So you're happy like cute kids took over?
But
they were ugly. You'd
like,
be kind of disappointed.
well, that's my mom. My mom was like, look how cute these kids are in the house.
Your mom would be so pissed if they were ugly.
And so like they're doing all these fun stuff. And then it like makes, weirdly enough, I went through a phase like 6 months ago where I had a lot of dreams about the house. Like I kind of went through a phase where I was like, damn, I really miss that house. Like I kept having dreams of like going back to that house and things being different, or like nobody being home and like going up to my room and falling asleep and then waking up and then people being like, what are you doing in my house?
Weird.
Yeah, very weird.
Symbolic.
Very
Maybe you just
weird.
missed it. It doesn't have to be
I
anything
really
crazy.
think it was
Maybe
just because I missed
grown
it.
up.
Yeah.
Now you're flown like a butterfly.
Flown the coop. Is that what they say? Flying the coop.
No.
Fleeted the nest.
Flying the nest.
The nest.
Fleeted the nest.
The coop,
it's not fleeted.
Coop and nest.
It's not
Nest
It's not
the same?
fleeted.
Fleeted.
It's not fleeted. Fleeted. Fleeted.
We talked about this on our Instagram, YouTube live that we did on Wednesday, but I know there's been a lot of craziness. Once again, Ticketmaster. There was also, I think they did, I don't know if it was BTS or something. It was trending for another reason on Twitter, not just Jonas Brothers, but everyone, a lot of wait lists across the board. It felt like if you got tickets, it seemed like it was very, very hard. Ticketmaster once again, strikes again. Although I will argue that like they have a terrible process of who they pay. Like I guess it's just random, but because they use the term verified fan, people are like, how I'm the biggest fan. How am I not I
agree with that.
It's like I'm
not right.
I'm the fan.
Yeah,
how
like
am I not verified?
Why what makes a verified fan?
Yeah, exactly.
Do you have to pass a test?
Yeah. So like Joe Jonas was doing an interview and he joked about like, if you're kind of a casual Jonas fan, like It might not be like they're gonna be playing some deep cuts, and so everyone was like, I don't know. It's an argument, but I will be at 2 nights.
Yes.
Shout out KJ.
Yes.
Kevin Jonas has not. I didn't hear from him directly, but I have 2 tickets for 2 nights.
A connection.
I can pick my 2 nights, and I'm gonna do Tuesday and Thursday. I think you're gonna come with me.
I am. I have canceled my hair appointment.
Yes.
And I'm going to go with Fran Tuesday night because
I want to give a special shout out to all the Chicks in the Office listeners who told Rhea her hair looked amazing the other day, because you all made her cancel that appointment, and because of that, we're going to the Jonas Brothers.
That is exactly what happened. I felt so loved and complimented the other day, which is not often. And I was like, wow, maybe I should cancel this hair appointment. And I like the color of my hair. I was just going to touch it up a little bit, but
yeah.
I don't know if it needs touching up right now. I think that this one in a lifetime chance to go to the Jonas Brothers show is probably more important than getting my hair touched up. And if I was going to pick any show to go to, that would have been the one I want to go to, the first one. So I will be attending.
Yes, which I am pumped about. And then I'm bringing Claire for Thursday.
Yes.
For Lines, Vines, and Trying Times, because if they play, they won't. But if they do play Don't Charge Me for the Crime, I need Claire to be there with me.
Yeah, Claire has to be there with you for all important Jonas Brothers moments. Yeah. I'm also writing that rule in. But I had a dream last night that, because I had talked about how when the Jonas Brothers came back, we went to the show at the Box. It was such a cool night, and I had eaten an edible, and it was like, holy fuck, like it hit right at the right time. Yeah. Joe Bros popped up on stage. It was unbelievable. And I was like, man, I haven't smoked since September, but I think maybe I'll eat like a little something, maybe like a 5 milligram, like something a little small for the Jonas Brothers concert, because I think it would be really fun.
Yeah.
And then I had dreams about it last night. Like, I couldn't find 5 milligrams. Like, I could only find 50 or above.
Oh, no.
And I didn't end up taking one. So I was like, is that a sign that I shouldn't? I don't know. I don't know. You have some?
I have 10s.
Oh, I got to split it in half, though. I'm a noob.
She's taking it slow.
I'm a noob now. I'm taking it slow. I don't want to have a freak out at the Jonas Brothers concert, which would be impossible,
definitely don't want that to happen. But especially because it's in like a Broadway theater too, you know?
Yeah. I'm just really excited now. And I slapped myself in the face and I said, you don't have to get your hair done. Yeah. You should go to the Jonas Brothers concert. So thank you for inviting me as well. I feel very appreciative that I get to go, because I know that there's a ton of people that want to go. Yeah. But I'm very excited because I haven't been to a Jonas Brothers concert since probably the last time we went 2 years ago.
And I do feel like, I'm shouting out Kevin Jonas. I'll shout out Jeremy too. I feel like sometimes when it's like, oh, we'll send Fran, like it's like, oh, 2 tickets for Fran, they like assume it would be both of us.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, for the Chicks in the Office team, yeah.
Right. I mean, I wasn't gonna I didn't make the flight to Vegas.
No.
I would have loved to have been there, but I didn't get there. It was a Joe Bros trip.
It was tough, yeah.
And I'm excited about this one. I'm really excited. I think it's going to be so much fun.
Pumped.
I have a lot of cool, fun things coming up in the next couple of weeks that I'm just really like excited about. Hang out with my family and friends, and just loving it.
Good stuff.
Good couple of weeks coming up.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about that. Let's get into the rest of the podcast. Weekly Watch Report, of course. We have some topics. Couple topics.
When I say couple, literally a couple.
Chris Pine finally addressed the Harry Styles Spitgate saga. Yeah. King Charles is moving Prince Andrew, and this is your field house.
Like if I could spit.
Yeah, we'll be talking about that. Madonna is dating the boxer that appeared on Summer House. That's just a quick little info that we'll give you.
Yeah. And
then we have an interview with Raquel and Sheana from Vanderpump Rules. Listen to it with an open mind, I say, because if you're watching Vanderpump Rules right now, you probably have an opinion on the drama going on.
Which I think a lot of people do. And you said, I think we made it very clear, this show needed drama. It needed drama.
I say
it was struggling.
Listen, I could see both sides, so I say listen to it with an open mind and don't just automatically judge, oh, they had Raquel and Sheana on, blah, get all mad. Just listen to it. Yeah. Just listen to the interview. And then we have...
they weren't... they've done a ton of interviews.
Yeah.
Like it's like
just listen to the interview. And we have a new segment called One More Thing, where each of us will bring a story, a topic, anything we want to talk about to the table that does not relate to us specifically.
or anything at all.
Just something we're interested in. And that will be at the end of the show because it's one more thing, just a little add-on.
Yep.
So look forward to that. Do not stop the show. That'll be at the end. So let's get into it, starting off with Weekly Watch Report. We're here to introduce you to Vroom. With Vroom, you could shop thousands of cars right from your phone and have your next ride delivered straight to you. Vroom is the better way to buy your next ride. You never have to haggle or negotiate the price of a car, so you know you're getting a good deal. With thousands of cars available on Vroom.com, you can make sure you get the ride you really want so you don't have to settle. You have a full week or 250 miles, whichever comes first. Make sure your new ride is right for you. Plus, all cars on Vroom.com come with a 90-day limited warranty and 1 year of roadside assistance nationwide, giving you peace of mind while on the road. You could trade in your old car when you buy your new one, or you can even just sell your car to Vroom. When you sell your car on Vroom, you get a price instantly. You can buy a car from Vroom entirely online, so next time you need to buy a car, just grab your phone, go to Vroom.com, and check out thousands of cars. All right, let's get into the Weekly Watch Report, where we talk about the things we watched this week.
Dun, 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 dun. What did you watch this week, Rhea?
Outer Banks.
Yes, we did all watch Outer Banks.
The Murdoch murder trials.
Yeah. Netflix.
Yes.
Because there's also apparently one on HBO Max, which I didn't realize.
And Real Housewives of New Jersey.
Great. I watched all of those things too.
I'm keeping up
we can
with
have a discussion.
Real Housewives of New Jersey. I think it's appointment television this season.
It is.
Man, they are popping off, and it's appointment. It's fun. It's fun to watch. So I'm going to grade Outer Banks. Even though we did a whole review about Outer Banks, I am going to grade Outer Banks. Man. I'm thinking about the past seasons. If I had to grade Outer Banks first season, I'm giving it an A. If I had to grade Outer Banks season 2, I'm giving it a C minus, probably around that range. If I'm grading Outer Banks season 3, tough. I'm going B minus.
Okay.
I'm going B minus.
Okay. Respectable.
Because I did like it better than the second season.
Yeah. I mean, what's a B minus? High 70s? Low 80s?
High
70s?
Low 80s.
Yeah.
High 70s were C. That's where I lived in school.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
B minus.
I mean, that's a great grade.
Probably like an 82.
Yeah.
And then the Murdoch murder trials is hard to grade because it's so sad.
It is. Yeah. Yeah.
And my God, I just held on to my boyfriend a little bit closer watching that show because life is too short.
It's crazy.
It really is. And that stuff makes me really emotional.
Yeah.
And it's really hard to watch. I feel so
Did you watch
awful.
all of it?
Yes.
What do you think happened?
This man, I think he hired somebody.
Yeah.
In my opinion. What do you think? I don't want to spoil. I guess it's not a spoiler. This thing is like
I mean,
real
it's
life,
not a
so
spoiler.
hard
It
to,
all
spoil
happened.
something.
Yeah. It's kind of
What a creepy family.
Yeah.
I want that out there.
terrifying family.
One of those things where you're like, that kid Paul was a piece of shit, but then he gets murdered. So
Yeah,
then
yeah.
you're like,
Yeah.
how do I feel about this?
Yeah.
You know, I don't want anyone to get murdered.
No.
But he was not a great kid.
No, but
I don't want him to get murdered.
It's also like kind of funky because this came out like it's really so recent. So
Yeah.
like this comes out too, and the trial and stuff like is all still happening in real time.
Yeah, it's so extremely sad, and watching all the families of each, it's such a, like watching it felt so strange because they're such a close friend group, and it was really more recent, right?
Right,
Like,
yeah.
Usually when these
I
things
know.
come out, is
I
years
know.
ago, like early. When I was watching this, I was like, was this early 2000?
No,
and then
it's just like the emotions have not
2019,
pat,
like
it's
this is still very
very fresh.
Yeah, and this all happened like 2019, losing their friend Mallory. And when I first turned it on, because of the old pictures on the Netflix, the way they presented it, I thought it was like early 2000s.
Yeah.
And then I clicked, it was like 2019, all the Snapchat. It feels so
I know.
Close to people because you watch and you go, that looks like my Snapchat memories with my friends.
I know.
And it makes you feel really weird. And so
Joe
I
said the same thing when we were watching. He was like, it's crazy that now these types of documentaries and stuff like so much of the evidence and things that they pull from are like from Snapchat.
Right. And like, you just think it's so weird when we're making these memories and you like to be used in this case is just so sad. So I almost was going to turn it off because I felt so bad and was like, this is so sad. So it's really hard to give it a grade, I think, because it's such a fucked up story that I'm like, I don't know. I guess the documentary itself, the making of the documentary, I could grade.
I think it's pretty well done.
I think probably a B+.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought the documentary itself was really well made, but the story itself, it's just hard to grade because it's such a really, really sad story. What do you think happened?
I just felt like the way the documentary went was that they really want you to think it was him.
Right.
You know? So I'm like,
I don't know if it was him specifically, but I definitely think he knows who did it.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, I definitely think it's within the family.
Right. I think he knows who did, whether it was him or not, I think he knows who did it.
Yeah. Crazy, crazy story.
So crazy.
I know.
Like, you watch these things, and I watched an episode of Catfish this week. I don't know if we can put that in there. I've never seen it before. I was watching an episode of No, I've seen Catfish before. I didn't see this episode. So if you want to count that as something
I
new.
was floored because when I was watching the challenge, it was just showing commercials for it, and I was like, they're still making new episodes of this show?
They are, and Catfish is Marty's guilty pleasure. Like,
that's
he
so funny.
fucking loves Catfish.
The show's been on for so long. At what point do people not like catch on? Like,
it's crazy,
hey,
right?
You know, catfishing.
Yeah, we don't try to
still
look,
out here catfishing.
Yeah, we don't try to look too into the details of the show because then it takes away from the show. But whenever Catfish is on, he's like, yes, like he's putting it on. So the other day we were just sitting there and Catfish was on, and we we're like, all right, let's watch the episode, whatever. And I was truly stunned. It was, each Catfish episode is pretty similar. This one was like any other I've watched before, where the kid was not sorry at all. I say kid, he was around our age. He had been catfishing 3 girls, getting naked pictures and videos from them. And he was caught, and he was not sorry at all. And he was like that. He was smiling. I
feel like that's just...
and laughing. And they were...
It's one way to go about it.
They were appalled. They were like, are you really sitting here fucking laughing, smiling in front of our faces? And he was like, I just feel like it's really immature that you guys are harping on this for hours. And I couldn't believe my eyes. And I was like, wow, people like this really exist in the world. And it really shocks you sometimes. Like the Murdoch murder. I'm like... These people like bad people like this really exist walking amongst us on this earth day to day, and we don't know. Yeah. It's crazy. Fucking weird and crazy. And the only time, like, I mean not the only time, because these people are seeing it in their real lives, but for us, we see it on TV and we're like, what? Like, it's hard to believe that people really fucking act like this. Yeah. So that was another thing where I was like, what the fuck? This kid is not remorseful at all. They have something wrong with them, obviously. And you're just like, this is so fucked. But yeah, people are fucked up. And that documentary really showed that.
Real Housewives of New Jersey, we're both up to date.
Yes.
I'm just like starting to get kind of sad. Like, I know the drama is there for like some of the other women, like, God, I honestly am really enjoying the new housewives. Like, they're bringing the energy. But like the back and forth of just the Gorgas and Teresa and the girls being involved, like the girls, like when Melissa was like, I have so much love for these girls, but I know that they have hate for us. I was like, that's so sad. And it's just like, it's just so messy because now like the girls are getting really involved.
I don't like seeing Gia involved in this.
I know.
And I get wanting to protect your mom and your dad's not close there, and you want her to be happy with this guy. But I just think it's best to stay out of it when it comes to things like that. And for this episode, it really only popped off the last 10 minutes. I thought the episode was pretty lackluster, but this season as a whole is really good. Yeah. So I'm going to give Real Housewives of New Jersey a B.
Yeah. I loved like only Teresa could do, comparing not inviting Melissa's family to the wedding, like how Louis' family was not invited to Antonia's Sweet 16.
It's not even close. It's not even a comparison in any way.
It's like, well, Louis' family wasn't invited to Antonia's Sweet 16.
It's not even in the same realm of comparison.
I know.
Whatsoever.
I can't. I struggle with Louis. I just don't know, because it's sometimes I feel like I'm like, is he acting up for the camera? Like, is he trying to come across like this good guy? Him writing the notes for her on the phone, like, say want to make peace, like feeding her lines and stuff.
I don't like that.
I'm like, are you just trying to make yourself look good? Like, oh, I'm trying so hard to reconcile the family, or like, I don't know. I don't like it.
Why does Teresa need to read notes that say want to make peace? Because that doesn't make either of them look good. It makes Louis look like he needs to speak for Teresa, and it makes Teresa look like she can't speak for herself and isn't doing it out of the goodness of her own heart.
No, absolutely.
Joe Gorga is so like family.
I know.
Like,
I know.
it's just.
Well, sometimes
I laugh because I'm like, they are like so like family, which is nice. It's a nice sentiment to have. That's how my family is too.
I just wish Joe would like let things go sometimes.
But yes, like also very hot-headed and
because it's just like, this is your sister, and you know how your sister is. It's not like you're just meeting her for the first time. You know what her personality is like. You know how she reacts to stuff. So it's like, there's some things, I mean, look, I guess this is where he's really drawn the line with the family not being invited. And I'm guessing he really feels like it's a connection to his parents, and his parents are no longer here, and that's very hard for them. So I feel like he struggles where it's like, oh, they had such a great connection with our dad, and if he was still alive, imagine how he would feel if you didn't invite them. I don't know. So it's just, it's very, very messy as always. And Jennifer Aiden just annoys the crap out of me.
Yeah, I'm very confused on how I feel about her. I mean, I'm not like a huge, I don't necessarily like her.
Look, she creates drama, but the drama, which I know is necessary, but like sometimes
she says things that when she was talking to her husband and she was like, you don't have my back, and he was like, well, I wish you didn't cheat on me. And I was like, good point. You know, like I'm confused how I feel about her. The other ones I like.
Yeah. I'm liking the new ones. I like what, they're bringing a good dynamic. Okay, what did I watch this week? I watched The Last of Us, which was like, it's hard because I just continue to see people kind of being very not confused, but like not talking about it as highly as they were at the beginning of the season. I thought this was a great episode. Storm Reed is in it. She's a recent Chicks in the Office guest. She's a phenomenal actress. And I really liked her part. The whole flashback felt like maybe it was a little too long.
It's starting to feel like Euphoria, where you're like, we're wasting.
I know they're giving
episodes.
like a backstory. I know, and there's only 9 episodes. And when I watched the preview for this coming up Sunday, there's like a whole new group of people being introduced. I was like, ugh, like we only have 2 episodes left. Who the hell are these people? Yeah. So I get that. It's going to be interesting to see how it ends. Like if it kind of ends in a messy timeline sort of way, but I'll give this episode a B. I still think it was good though. Shrinking episode 6, laughing out loud.
That's on my list to watch. I think I'm gonna watch that tonight.
I thought a great episode, funny moments. Jason Segel is so good, kind of like a good cliffhanger ending where like I didn't think this show would kind of make me be like, oh, but I had a little shocking moment. So I'll give that a minus.
It must be so cool for all of them to just like be working with Harrison Ford.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean it's so cool.
And it's a character I feel like he's never really played.
No, I just think it's like I think it's just a really good show as a whole. What else did I watch?
Outer Banks.
I feel like those are Outer Banks for me was a solid B for season 3. I'd give it like an 85.
What would you rank the other seasons?
Season 1 is an A. Season 2 is C plus.
Okay, so around
kind of around the same. I think like I liked season 2 a lot more. I like it less after watching season 3. Like, that season 3, I was like, okay, this is good. This was better. And season 2, now looking back at season 2, I was like,
Okay, that makes sense.
What else did I mean, I've got like, what else am I watching? Summer House. I'll just list like other stuff that I won't necessarily grade. Summer House, Vanderpump Rules, Real Housewives of Miami is the season's almost up, so I'm really clocking in a lot of Bravo hours. Special Forces. I watched all of that season. I'll give a grade for the whole season as a show. I'll give it a B. I'll give it a B. It was I really enjoyed it. It was a different type of reality show, something we haven't seen before. Hannah Brown's on our episode on Monday talking about it. So if you have watched it or haven't watched it, you can watch this weekend. I thought it was just like different and very funky cast, which I have already talked about. It was kind of like a wild compilation of people. And yeah, I think that's probably about it.
All right. I forgot to mention this last time, so I'm just going to throw it on here. I watched the first 5 episodes of You, season 4, and not a fan.
Yeah,
I
haven't seen
right?
any.
I didn't.
I've seen other people
it.
saying the same thing. It's like not the same show.
I haven't seen any really like positive.
Yeah, which
thoughts.
I get because it's like you can only do that so many times.
Yeah.
But now it's like a murder mystery type show, and he's like the good guy kind of. But I'll give that a C- because it's still kind of entertaining, but it's just so they should have ended this show. Outer Banks season 3, I'll give that a D+. Not a fan. I just think it was just straight bad. But that's just my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, nobody.
And it's not like I
Outer
hated
Banks
the other
has
one.
never been an award-winning like HBO show.
No, but if I'm just giving it based on like entertainment value, like I would give season 1 an A-, B+. Like I wasn't feeling this season.
Okay.
I thought it was extra cringy and whatever. P. Pharrell. The Last of Us episode 7, I'll give a C+, because I'm just like we're wasting time here. Although I did think Storm Reed was great.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like,
it's confusing because it's confusing because it was a really good, like the story was really good.
Yeah.
Of the two of them, it's just like I almost would have rather that flashback happened earlier in the season.
Yeah. Or just
you know
like
what I'm saying?
shorter.
Like I don't even necessarily. I mean, it was definitely long, but like I just think timeline wise, if that happened earlier in the season, it would have made more sense so that like episodes 7, 8, 9 could be like present day and more intense. But yeah,
I need some more Pedro Pascal. You know.
Yep.
Shrinking episode 6, I'll give it B. I like the show. Yeah.
I like it more than Noah.
Yeah, you like it more than me.
But
I do like it. And then I watched.
There's not that many like good short form comedies, new short form comedies.
Yeah.
I feel like
I'm gonna give that a shot
these
tonight.
days.
No, I like it.
I want to laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it'll grow on me more. Hello Tomorrow, episode 4. This show's starting to fall off for me. C+. It's starting to lose me. But, yep, that's it.
All right. Good stuff, guys.
Yeah, it was good stuff.
And that's what we watched this week.
All right, let's get into some topics. Chris Pine finally addressed that whole Spitgate situation with Harry Styles. What did Harry say to him? Nothing.
It was just an inside joke.
They just had some words.
It's just words,
which is what we all could have expected, but a downer.
You know,
you always hope for something more juicy.
You know what's surprising to me, and it's just like I guess I've just seen Chris Pine doing a lot of press right now. What is he promoting? Does he have a new movie coming out or something? He's just like he did this. I think it was Esquire. It's been all over my TikTok, all the little snippets of the clips, because there was one that he was asked, somebody wrote in like about him being in Princess Diaries 3. Like I just keep seeing all these clips. And with the Spitgate thing is like, if that really was all that it was, what was stopping Chris Pine from addressing it when it happened and just being like, well, I guess his team like did say like he didn't spit. And then this is now just like the full story. But just hearing the full story is like, oh, if we heard that right after it happened, maybe it wouldn't have been that big of a deal. But I also think people really held on to the spit, that they would have said he spit on him anyway.
Yeah, maybe they, first of all, liked the publicity for the movie.
Yeah.
Maybe because there was so much drama going on around the movie, they kind of were just like, oh man, let's just ignore this for now, and later on we'll talk about it. And like you said, people just want to believe anything they want to believe anyway. So people still probably believe that it was spit, even though they both have said it wasn't, you know? And I think Harry Styles, when he was at his concert the next day and was like, just got back from spitting on Chris Pine, was enough to joke around for people to understand that that isn't actually what happened. Somebody that you would love to spit on, I think, is King Charles.
Yeah. I wouldn't like to spit on Chris Pine. Chris Pine looks fantastic.
I was going to say, he looks good in
Spit on him.
He looks really good. He cut his hair.
Spit on him in a different way.
He's just got, maybe. He's got a good look. He's got a good look going right now. Yeah, so King Charles, which just like, it just hurts. When we were watching the Tommy Fury Jake Paul fight was on and they did the anthems, Devin texted the group and was like, God Save the King just does not hit as hard as God Save the Queen. I was like, it really doesn't. It really doesn't. But I guess when Harry and Meghan were living in the UK, like their home is the Frogmore Cottage on whatever fucking piece of land that wherever exactly that is. But it's been lived in by a bunch of people, and that's where they had built their original home before leaving to come to the US. And now they're totally out of Frogmore Cottage because Prince Andrew is getting his ass put in there. Like, we're just letting Prince Andrew now live on palace grounds.
Who is Prince Andrew?
Prince Andrew is...
History lesson for me and others that I really hope others may not know.
Queen Elizabeth's other son.
Oh, that nobody ever hears about.
So that no, everybody does hear about him because Prince Andrew was in with Epstein.
Oh, okay.
Prince Andrew is like disgraced.
Is a bad guy.
Yeah.
Prince Andrew was hanging out with Epstein?
Oh yeah.
So were a lot of others.
Yeah.
Man.
But I think
not good.
I think Prince Andrew has been...
Now I feel dumber.
I think Prince Andrew has been proven to be involved a lot more than others. Like, oh, you see Epstein photographed with this people, blah, 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 whatever. I don't need to get into it. But it does feel like
he
Prince
knew.
Andrew was more on the inside and perhaps also getting into his own predicaments with younger ladies.
That's disgusting. Did I
Prince Andrew is...
did I ever mention this, that when I went to St. Thomas in 10th grade, have I told this story? I don't want to repeat myself if I have. That when I went to, or is this sounding familiar to either of you?
You got to keep going.
When I went to St. Thomas in 10th grade and they took us on a boat ride. No, not sounding familiar?
I don't think so.
In 10th grade, I went to St. Thomas with my best friend.
Yeah.
And we went on a private boat tour, and they took us past Epstein Island.
Yeah.
And said, that's this guy, Jeffrey Epstein, owns this island.
Yep.
And I remember us at the time being like, wow, like this guy owns his own island. Mm-hmm. So pretty crazy looking back on that.
So
I'm pretty sure it was him, because then when I looked recently, I looked that up.
Yeah.
And so it seemed to be near there.
It is. 100% it is. In 2019, Prince Andrew stepped back from royal duties over his ties to convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Though he's repeatedly denied any wrongdoing, he faced mounting scrutiny due to his alleged relationship with Epstein, and renewed interest in the allegations linking Andrew and Epstein was sparked after a victim of Epstein's sex trafficking ring claimed she was assaulted by Prince Andrew. And he settled that out of court for a reported $16 million. And he's just been like the Queen really kind of kept him at an arm's length after this happened. It said that Charles had also kind of done the same, but now it's like Prince, he's allowed, I guess he's having him come back where he can stay on the property.
So people are very much against this.
Yeah.
As they should if he was involved with Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah. But it's also, I also think it's because I think it's more like, oh, Meghan and Harry, you guys are out. Andrew is in. However, where Andrew lives now, I guess, is nicer than where he's been staying. He's reluctant to move out of his current home. He's said to be resisting the king's wishes for him to move out of his current residence and into Frogmore Cottage. Prince Andrew has lived in the Royal Lodge, located 3 miles south of Windsor Castle, since 2004. He resides in the 30-room mansion with his ex-wife, Sarah Ferguson. Yeah, I could understand why he wouldn't want to leave there. Frogmore Cottage is not big. I don't know. There's just a lot of drama within like what Andrew can and can't do. On top of that, apparently nobody wants to play at his coronation. Charles, they can't get it. They can't get any big acts. Everybody's turned him down.
And nobody wants to be the one to do it because then everyone will criticize them.
It's actually kind of crazy. It feels like I guess, when is the coronation? I think it's soon. But they won't. Let's see, King Charles, he's struggling to land A-list celebs for coronation. Celebrities don't care to perform for King Charles. And there's been a lot of artists that have said no. Let's see. The last time the Queen did something big, she obviously had a ton of people there. But now we have Elton John and Harry Styles both declined invitations to perform. I feel like that's really a statement from Elton John because boy did he perform. He performed at a lot of stuff for the Queen.
Knighted.
A lot of stuff for the Queen.
Sir Elton.
And obviously Princess Diana, when she passed, he performed as well. Ed Sheeran apparently also too busy. So it just seems like.
Sounds like excuses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we're out
sick,
here. He's being rejected by Robbie Williams.
Hey, maybe no performance for him. Maybe he just wants to get cut to the chase.
And then it says it's just scheduling problems. But if you really wanted to perform at the king's coronation, a once in a lifetime experience, you would probably find a way to do it.
People would do it for the Queen.
I would do it if I was an A-lister. Why not? Yeah.
As of right now, other acts expected to perform include Kylie and Danny Minogue, musical theater giant Andrew Lloyd Webber, and U.S. Motown legend Lionel Richie.
Phantom of the Opera.
Phantom of the Opera, Rosie.
I love that movie.
Yeah.
I've never seen the play, though.
Great. Both are great. And British musician and the X Factor alum Ollie Murs is also expected to join the lineup, but is yet to be confirmed. You guys remember list. Ollie Murs?
No.
He had like that one really big song. Fuck, what was it called? You would know it if you heard it. It was like he had one really big one. Oh, I actually have some of his.
You're a big fan.
I have some of his songs in my library. Not even, I was searching it on Apple Music. Troublemaker? No. I'm not going to be able to remember. Anyway, Harry and Meghan are all their stuff.
They're out.
They're out.
They've been out, though. And if they didn't see that coming, then they have been living under a rock.
They've been out, but it just feels like a little extra. Feels like just a little extra stab from Charles to Harry to be like, oh, the house that you stayed in that was like your first home as a married couple, we're making fucking disgraced Prince Andrew come live there.
Yeah.
So, last thing is people were freaking out about this week because Madonna was seen out with a new guy. They were like, oh, is this a new boyfriend? Who is this? Someone she's dating? This boxing instructor, boxer, Josh, I believe his name is, who just so happened to be on Monday's episode of Summer House as like a potential love interest for Sam.
Interesting pipeline here. Interesting connection. You think Madonna watches Summer House or any Bravo shows?
I have no idea. I just saw an article on page 6.
So many celebrities watch Bravo shows.
They do.
They really do. So I wouldn't be too surprised.
I just saw an article on page 6 that was like, oh, he's just using date like Madonna publicity to help his gym.
Oh,
it's like okay.
So he
what?
So
but
he
how did you even get linked to Madonna? Is my question.
So he tried with Summer House, and he was like, "All right, I'll put a little something here."
Right. Like, how did you
I'll
go
put a little
from
something with Madonna?
Exactly.
And people will go to my gym, which I bet they will. Honestly, it will bring publicity. Probably more so if Summer House. Probably more so from Summer House than Madonna. I'll say that, which is crazy to say, but. You know,
trying to
the
find
influence.
Where I just saw
more of an influencer type of show.
Yeah.
Whereas Madonna, people read a quick little thing and go, "Oh, Madonna's dating a boxer."
Yeah. Rumored romance with Madonna. 64 dating boxing coach. But it's like sources told the outlet on Wednesday that Josh has been training one of Madonna's 6 children at his gym. Oh. You know, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if he was like, "Hey, let's take a few pictures, put them out there on the World Wide Web. People are gonna freak out." She's kind of just got her arm like linked in his arm.
Well, I hope he gets the business that he's looking for.
Well, there's certainly more articles being written about him being linked to Madonna than his appearance on Summer House.
Yeah. Well,
so.
Yeah, but I was saying that the people watching Summer House may go, "Oh, I want to go to that gym."
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. And
I think it's just everybody who watches Bravo shows loves to see when that bleeds out into the real world of A-list celebs.
It's like when Tyler started dating Gigi Hadid.
Exactly.
People are like, "What?
What? We're crossing the line."
Right.
And Madonna's, that's certainly crossing the line.
It doesn't happen often.
No.
But yeah, that's it for topics.
All right, we have a great interview with Sheana and Raquel from Vanderpump Rules. But first, guys, we are busy right now. You guys probably feel the same way, where carving out time in your calendar to kick back and relax can be tough with so much going on. Getting into that time of year, maybe the winter hopefully is coming to an end. You can be outside. You have to find time to carve out some time to chill. And when that time comes around, reach for a Coors Light, the beer that's made to chill. Coors Light is the most refreshing beer. And for me, especially when we start to get into these warmer months, crack open a nice Coors Light, sit outside. Maybe you go to a bar or a restaurant. They have outdoor seating. You can enjoy the nice weather, have a nice cold Coors Light. The mounds on the bottles and cans even turn blue when your beer is cold. That way you always know when it's time to chill. So when it's time to relax, just open a Coors Light. Mountain cold refreshment made to chill. Mark your calendar for some quality time with Coors Light, the beer made to chill. Get Coors Light delivered straight to your door with Drizzly or Instacart by going to CoorsLight.com/chicks. And always celebrate responsibly from Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
All right, everyone, we are here with 2 very special guests. We are joined by Raquel and Sheana from Vanderpump Rules. We're here to talk about this new season. It's off to a hot start. Vanderpump is back. People are very excited about Bravo these days. All the shows are heating up. It's spicy, and we're here to talk about it all.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, we're excited to have you guys here because, you know, the drama is happening. Like and you're bringing the drama. People are very fired up about what is going on. How you, of course, lived it all, and now you're watching it all back. Did you think going into this season the fans would have such a strong reaction to what's going on?
Not necessarily. I feel like we never really know what to expect. I mean, going into the season, we don't know how the season's going to go. Mm-hmm. I didn't expect my Shenanigans podcast with Schwartz to be such a hot topic and, you know, to stir the pot. That was not my intention whatsoever. So, yeah, I never know what to expect with this show and our fans. I'm just thankful that, we're still doing it. And that's a big thanks to the fans. If they don't watch the show, then we don't have a show.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I mean, from a viewer perspective, I think that it's been exciting just because as a viewer, you want to watch reality TV that has drama in it. But I feel like anything with Schwartz now, you kind of have to know is going to be filled with drama or picked up because there is a lot of drama revolving him.
yeah, definitely. We've learned that.
Yeah.
Raquel, where were you at the beginning of this season, like mentally? Because honestly, watching you has kind of been like, who is this version of Raquel? Because we have not seen her act like this.
Yeah, it's been a transformative year, I would say, but more so, I feel like I had so many mental blocks growing up my entire life and struggling with social anxiety, just those challenges. I always push myself outside of my comfort zone, which is why I started competing in pageants because it was like good exposure to do that. I feel like I've finally been able to come into my own, and a big part of that is due to not being a people pleaser anymore and kind of just putting my needs first and figuring out who I am, a lot of self-reflection. And just like I'm embracing this single life.
Yeah, love to see it.
Now, have you guys had a conversation about kind of what's been said on the show where, Raquel, you were kind of like, I didn't have the idea about Schwartz until Sheana had brought it up, and then it feels like the other girls are really holding on to that it came from you.
But it came from Katie.
Yeah.
I had a conversation with Katie in Vegas where she literally said that she gave it her blessing, she would embrace it, that she needed Schwartz to move on, that she had moved on. And she was so convincing in that conversation. I was like, oh, do you want me to help him move on? And she was like, yes, please. Like, he needs a push. I'm like, all right. I thought I was doing her a favor. So I then tell Raquel about this conversation that Katie and I had. And that, yes, planted the seed. I wasn't pushing her to do anything she didn't want to do. It just planted the seed. And then you see the seed blossom throughout the season.
Yeah, quite a confusing situation, right? Because on one hand, you think to yourself, like, in what world would Katie be okay with that? Like, that just seems like a very bizarre thing to be okay with.
When she
right.
said it, yeah.
But then when you're saying, like, she's saying it and then she's so
Right. And then she, in the Instagram comments, she's been very vocal that she was like, I was really drunk, I didn't mean it.
But when you're drunk, I feel like that's truth serum. I felt like because she had been drinking, she really meant what she said. I felt like in that conversation, she was so far removed from the relationship, so over it, and really wanted him to move on, because then I think she felt more comfortable having had already moved on. So I genuinely believed everything she said to me. And I think you saw that in the text messages that she posted. I'm like, you're kind of just proving my point more that we had this conversation where I was convinced you were happy. I understand now that you were just putting up a front, but at the time you told me you were happy and you embraced them making out or whatever was going to come of that. So
do you wish that this would have been recorded and have been on TV?
Oh, that conversation? Oh my God, yes. I really do.
Because that obviously would change and clear a lot of perspectives up, because I think a lot of people are confused on how to feel. Like, as a viewer,
because Katie is so adamant about now disliking
Yes, because you want to believe the fact that, like, why would you push that if she didn't say it? But now she's saying she didn't mean it. So it's very confusing. I think everyone is so confused.
Yeah. Sorry. Yes, but she does admit to saying it.
Yeah. She just said she didn't mean it.
Right. So
but you said it.
You just can't shoot the messenger.
Right.
I mean, it's not Sheena's
Do you,
fault.
now hearing what she thought about it, do you regret getting in the mix with Katie and Schwartz's situation?
I mean, yeah, I never intended to get in the middle of their divorce and meddle or push anyone on anyone. And I don't think I was pushing. I told Raquel about the conversation that Katie and I had. I planted a seed that Katie planted. So
now, is there a reason you told Raquel? Like, had you mentioned before that you thought Schwartz was cute, and that's why you came back to her and said, like, Katie would be okay with it, because it seems kind of random for, like, just you to be, like, thrown into it.
So this all started with a rumor
on Instagram
about Schwartz and I making out at Coachella.
Yes, we saw
but
that.
Schwartz wasn't even at Coachella. But like, I don't know. I've never viewed Schwartz as like someone that I would be interested in pursuing. But I guess that's like part of single life. Like I look at him differently now. But like, update. We're just friends.
Yeah. So we watched Wednesday night's episode, and I honestly like almost fell out of my chair because there's some conversations that you ladies have that I'm like, I cannot believe they're just saying this to each other's face. Like, Raquel, you're out with Lala and Katie, and you say to Katie, like, I asked Schwartz to make out, and he said no. But obviously we watched that interaction happen as well, and it wasn't like an adamant no. It was like,
are we still filming?
Yeah,
exactly. We are.
Yeah,
no,
exactly. So, like, how do you feel in those moments? Because I cannot imagine looking at somebody and being like, I did try to make out with your ex-husband.
Dude, I was so nervous to have that conversation with her. I knew that it was necessary just because she's going to find out eventually. And it would just be better if it came from me, especially if she's inviting me on a girls' trip to Vegas. Then I need to make sure that like everything is laid on the table and she knows that like this happened. Otherwise, I feel like I would be like hiding something from her, which wouldn't sit well with me.
I think it was Ariana, right, who said like nobody points the finger at Schwartz.
Yeah.
Right. Like everyone's always pointing fingers at somebody else.
And it does feel like the online people are starting to be like, maybe we should look at
like maybe we should look at, past things he said to Katie, in their relationship, and just like, he seems like a sweet, fun loving guy, but at the same time, he's also making a lot of mistakes. And, it doesn't all fall on one person. There's like a couple people involved. Where do you guys stand now with Katie? Because this was just last week, all the commenting was happening. Have you guys talked? Is there
we stand far away
texting?
from her. We don't talk.
Really?
I've given up on giving any of my energy to her because it's never well received, and I'm just over it. We're not friends anymore, and I'm okay with that. She's okay with that. I have other things in my life to focus on. That are way more important.
I think Sheana and I both have made our own attempts at being the bigger person and saying hi to Katie whenever we see her out, like at the same events and stuff. But she's not welcoming to that. So I think it's just best if we leave her be. And
posting that the picture of you and Schwartz posting. I mean, were you stirring the pot a little bit?
Okay,
that's hard to believe because you had to have known that was going to cause a conversation.
I did not.
And if you want to stir the pot, you're on a reality show.
I mean,
yeah, but in that moment,
I did not know that it was going to be this polarizing and triggering to people. Like, it really started a conversation of like, Raquel is wrong for X, Y, and Z, and then, Katie divorced Schwartz, and, she doesn't have a say in his life and all this stuff. So, like, Team Katie, Team Raquel, which, like, I wasn't looking to spark those conversations. If I could redo it, I would have posted the photo with Schwartz and turned the comments off altogether.
Or just not post the picture in general.
No,
I mean, it's a photo with your friend.
Why would I not post a photo of me and my friend? Because that's the way that I see it. Yeah. Like,
no, and like I said, the viewers are like really like, this is, it sounds bad because it's your lives, but it's like they're kind of been missing a little bit of the drama, I think, and like
I think that's it too. I think
it up, so it's like so the viewers are like, bit. We're back,
and like we have something.
The girl, like people are fighting, like this.
That's a good point.
Yeah, because I mean, early days of Vanderpump, I saw some clips on my TikTok the other day, and I was like, oh my god, like. Remembering like when Kristen slept with Jax and like Stassi was, I'm just like, it was crazy. It felt
crazier
nuts for a while and then it died down.
It definitely the last few seasons, I think the viewers felt like this doesn't feel as authentic, and then now this is turned because there has been some real life breakups and real life hookups that it feels like it's kind of gone back to how that was.
As shitty as it is, people are not so excited to watch like happy couples and like families on reality TV. They're like, oh wait, there was a divorce and there's people hooking
and
up.
people want to watch.
It's the downside, but it's also you guys know that as well, and everyone takes part in it. And you're also creating a show.
Totally,
so at the
and
end of the
people
day,
want to
like,
watch messy, but then they get mad when you're messy, and it's like this is what you want.
Sometimes I think that the viewer, because for our jobs we kind of do this, right? Because if we weren't talking about it, we would just talk about it in a way where we judge everybody just based off what we're seeing. But then you remove yourself and you're like, okay, but they are creating a show, and you know what it's like to have to put content out there and have a reaction. So at the same time, I think people need to think of it like that as well, or else there'd be no show.
Yeah, that is such a good point. And you would think that after 10 years of being on a reality TV show, that Katie would have a similar perspective on that, because
you would think,
right?
To this day, I am hearing things that she is so like, she will not let this go, and she is so like hurt by it, and like people are, I don't know, like her close, correct me if I'm wrong, I've just heard that some of her close friends are like, oh, enough already, like we're sick of hearing about it.
Because she could thrive if she, it's okay to be upset about the situation, of course. They were together for a really long time. Absolutely. It didn't work out. You're going to have ups and downs of, I'm happy, I'm sad, I'm okay with him moving on, I'm not okay with him moving on. I think that's very normal for what she's going through. Yeah. But I also think it's okay to realize that she could be thriving, and I think that's what everyone roots for at the end of the day.
Of course,
because you had kind of made a comment like, Katie and I were never really that close. Like, do you really feel like you and Katie just never even had that friendship?
No, I think a main reason why we were never close mostly is because of my relationship with James.
Yeah.
And they didn't get along. And like, honestly, Ariana and Sheana were the ones that really embraced me into this group and have been there for me since day one. So like, I know who my true friends are.
Right.
And Katie's not one of them. So when it came down to like, do I want to live my best single life and pursue possibly something with Schwartz, who I do admire a lot because he's super sweet. He always puts himself in other people's shoes. He's basically the opposite of James Kennedy. So am I going to choose myself and in pursuing Schwartz?
Yeah.
Right.
Or am I going to put that on hold and pursue a friendship with Katie, someone who's never been that welcoming to me, and someone who I'm not really even interested in being friends with?
Yeah.
Now, Sheana, when you told Schwartz that Katie was having sex with other people,
I really thought he already knew. I really
you
did.
Really?
Yes, because the guy that she hooked up with,
okay,
he ran into them at the bar together in Vegas.
Okay.
So I thought they were in a place where they were already like expressing this to each other, because I knew he saw them together. I had no idea. That was an unintentionally messy moment where I wasn't trying to stir the pot. I wasn't trying to hurt him, throw anything in his face. I would never intentionally want to hurt someone I care about.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to hurt someone I don't care about. Like, that's just not who I am.
I thought he was being like facetious with his response.
No, that was the first messy time of mine. Yeah. That was at Schwartz and Sandy's.
Yeah.
When I said something there too, and he was like, that was joking.
Okay.
No, I guess he genuinely didn't know she had already more than made out with someone.
And you could kind of tell his reaction, because the guy from being on the show for so long, you never really see him like go off or lose it for anything.
Yeah.
But the one, like, I think that rolled over into their conversation that night, or whenever it was, and he was just kind of like, I don't want you.
And
around.
I totally get why Katie was just like lying to him, being like, we made out. And I'm like, no, you didn't. Yeah. But I'm like, I understand. She wasn't trying to throw it in his face. She didn't want to hurt him. She didn't want him to know that. I would take that back if I could. I didn't do it on purpose to hurt anyone. Though.
Where's
really
your
didn't.
friendship with Schwartz right now?
We're great.
You guys
I
are
love
good.
Schwartz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though Katie banned you guys from being friends.
It didn't work. No.
You can't. I mean, you can't do that. You can't put
ban people from.
I know.
You can't do that.
No.
You also can't ban people from hooking up with whoever they want to hook up with as
Exactly.
well. And I think for them, it's just. It's going to be so messy when they have to be around each other and you're in the same friend
It's the friend group. It's the
and not even a real,
It's the
some
friend
of you
group.
are friends. I mean, you're not friends, but you're on a show together. And it's like most, people who get divorced and don't have kids, they can go their separate ways and they don't have to be in each other's lives. But for them, they're like always going to be there and they're always
So
going to
tough.
hear
And Katie
this person
and
hooked up with
Ariana
that
working
person,
together.
and this person hooked up with that person. When at the end of the day, they both should hook up with whoever they want.
Yeah.
If they're both hooking up with other people, then they got to just let them do it.
I know.
So it's very messy to watch. And I think it's just from people who have watched Vanderpump from the beginning. We're just like, wow, like it's really come to this.
One of the people who I really think does like understand the whole show thing too is Lala. Like we love Lala, and there's moments
Lala
where I'm
gets
like,
so much
Lala but it's the same thing. It's like Lala saying straight to your face, like, oh, by the way, like me and James hooked up when you guys were together. It's like, what?
That was
Wait,
wild.
what?
That was wild.
And it's like, it's when it's done in that casual setting, it's like, wait, beep, beep, beep.
Right. That was
Rewind. Like,
that was wild to see,
what
especially because
happened?
she was with somebody and James was, and you're just like,
yeah.
what the fuck?
And now, wait, Raquel, I want you to clear up something because I don't know if I'm remembering it right, but somebody told James's current girlfriend that had happened, or
James did.
James did. Okay,
Yeah, because
you had told James, you had asked James about it.
in the first episode you saw Lala kind of like brag about it.
Yeah.
And Katie laugh about it and James admit to it. And so James kind of already knew what was coming. I'm pretty sure he knew that Lala was gonna
say something,
say something. That's why he wasn't as surprised when I confronted him about it at the dog park, which I'm like, okay, well, that's typical. Which was also so weird because every single time I've asked James about other cheating allegations like Gigi and Ellie and all of that. Hope. Yeah. All the things.
Too many
all
names.
all the girls he cheated
Too
with.
many names.
Yeah, he denied to the grave.
Yeah.
So it was just like surprising that he admitted to it. Like
Crazy
so
that he would tell
easily.
his new girlfriend and not his ex-girlfriend that
Well,
he did it too.
He told Allie, I'm sure, after that
He knew it was
conversation.
gonna
that
come out.
he-
She was gonna
yeah.
find out.
Exactly. So like he wanted to
Try to get ahead
beat
of
it to the punch. Yeah.
Really just shitty. Really just not a great boyfriend.
No.
No.
No, he was not.
And he and Allie are still together. Yes. Okay. And you guys, do you like Allie?
I love Allie.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a sweetheart. I really like her.
Is there any part of you that's like, look out a little bit? Like, because
I mean, yeah, for
you know
sure, but
how he treated Raquel. And
She watched the show. She
Yeah.
saw how he treated her. She knows what, she's signing up for by
Right,
dating
right.
him.
Right.
And you've had a bunch of, like, it seems like you've had a bunch of conversations with her too.
Yeah.
I'm on camera, I'm assuming maybe off as well, but on camera, we've seen it. How is that for you? Because, like, let me tell you something. If the person I was supposed to marry gets a new girlfriend, I got to see her all the time. I'm not saying one word to her.
It's interesting because as much as I was so heartbroken that James moved on so quickly with Allie, I also knew deep down that he was not my person and I made the right decision. It just took me a while to like heal and process. But with Allie, I saw a lot of myself in her. Like a lot of the way that I used to be when I first met James, like how excited I was that like, he's funny, he's charismatic.
Yeah.
There's so many character traits that like drew me into him as a person and made me fall in love with him. So I can empathize with Allie on the reasons why she loves him. And I'm just checking in with her like almost like a big sister because I want to make sure she's good. And I learned the lessons that I needed to learn from that relationship. So I just want to provide like a a non-judgmental space for Allie to have a conversation with me if she ever needs to have a conversation with me. And she can decide what she wants to do with her life.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It does make sense. And I guess, like, Sheana, so now with not even a separation, whatever, you and Katie are not speaking.
No.
How does that kind of come into play with, like, the rest of the girls?
I think it's only tough for Lala,
Yeah.
but I mean, Lala's had her issues with Katie in the last few months as well. So Lala and I have a mutual respect for each other where I understand, you know, Raquel's not her favorite person. I'm not Katie's favorite person. And we just try to leave that separate out of our friendship. When Lala and I are together, it is all about the babies. We're not sitting there gossiping, looking at Instagram, commenting on the episodes. Like, we're literally watching Frozen or Monsters Inc. and singing and dancing with the kids. It's like very just lighthearted and fun, and
everybody has separate friendships. Do you think that there comes a point where Katie decides to, like, remove herself from the show if, you know, she's not getting along with everybody? Or
no, I don't think so.
I know that she felt really out of place this season specifically because she didn't have
a blind, loyal friend.
Exactly. And I think that's a big reason why we see Christina Kelly come back into the picture, because
But Christina Kelly's also not blindly loyal. Like, she's a voice of reason.
Right. So it might have backfired on her a little bit.
I mean, Christina and I are great.
You know, I hope she doesn't decide to leave the show because I feel like there's been so many instances where I wasn't happy and, like, I've been bullied, and, like, that hasn't prevented me from, like, not committing and like still pursuing my life. I don't know.
Yeah, sometimes people just go through things and need to find their place, and maybe that's what's happening.
And this whole, you know, this buildup of the makeout, we know happens at some point. So now, are you nervous for everybody to get to that part of the season? Do you feel like it's just it happened? And
it's so funny because now I live my life like so much, I don't know, it might sound bad, but like I stopped caring what everyone thinks about me. Like, I'm just living my life like for the first time in my life, and so I'm excited to watch that episode.
Was it a good makeout?
Yeah.
I think that's a great way to look at it. Listen, if you're going to do something, you got to own it. And if you're happy, you're happy. And you just got to not care what people say as long as you're happy. Like, I think that's a great outlook to have, especially for someone like you who has said, like, you've been in relationships, you've been controlled, manipulated, like, kind of just want to just do your thing. And if you make mistakes, you make mistakes. But if you're happy with what you're doing, you're happy.
Yeah.
And you guys totally feel that way, because I'm sure, like, we see all the online chatter and the discussions and whatnot, and I would probably say majority of the fans right now feel like what you guys have done was wrong or the wrong thing to do. Do you ignore those things?
I don't even look.
You don't
honestly.
even look.
I don't read the comments.
Yeah.
Very rarely on Twitter. I just, I can't get wrapped into that because it's just like a downward spiral, and people are going to have their opinions, and you know what, as long as they're talking and they're watching, that's all I care about.
I have read all of the comments.
Why?
Well,
why do you do that to yourself?
It happens.
Let me tell
you.
Yeah. There is few variations of the exact same comments. So, like, there's different viewpoints, and I understand that people have a different perspective of it based off of the events that happened in their life, you know?
Right.
So,
I think like everyone has a story of a friend, like maybe a group of friends, a breakup happens, and then there's like a friend hookup that everyone's like, how could they do that? Like, we're you know. So I think people pull from their own experiences.
Yeah.
Of course,
I mean, I had something
and that
very
can happen.
similar, something here where I was dating somebody here. We broke up. I moved on with somebody else here, and people were very, very, very upset about it.
It was a
like
major World War III
major problem,
here.
and we are very happy together. And I'm just very happy with that decision that I made.
Yeah.
So I understand, you know, when people were really mad, I could understand from an outsider's perspective of you just see a couple things or hear a couple things, you get really mad.
Yes.
But when you're not living the life and you're not in that person's shoes and you don't know every detail and you don't know every conversation that has had, it's easy to judge. But then when you are that person, you're like, I'm happy I made this decision.
Yeah.
We all know, you know what I mean? Like, that's why I could sympathize with that and say, hey, if you're happy with the decisions you're making and you're okay with yourself and you're comfortable, that's fine.
Totally.
Yeah. How do you kind of end up dealing with the la of it all too for you? Because I know, like, even just for the preview for next week is when Garcelle's son comes into play, but like there's just a soundbite of her being like, well, if I wanted him, I would have had him, like not Raquel.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
Right? How do I deal with the la of it all?
Yeah.
I mean, unfortunately, because, you know, we're working together, that I can't fully ignore this person, where if like in real life I would definitely cut this person out of my life and not like spend another second on it, because it's like, she's always had something out for me. She's always been really mean to me for no apparent reason. And now I just, you know, I'm just like, you're over there. I respect the friendship that Sheana has with Lala, and like, I know it's centered around family orientated stuff. But for me, I just like, I have to look out for myself, and I just
definitely. I totally understand that. So I mean, you guys are watching the show right now, there's a lot going on. What's going on at home for the two of you?
I've got a toddler I'm raising. She's going to be 2 next month.
She is absolutely adorable.
Yeah,
so cute.
No, she's the best. And then I have my eyelash line, Viva Verano. I actually brought both of you some. They're in
amazing.
my bag.
Thank you.
And podcast, vlog, just focusing on, I'm in therapy. I'm working through postpartum OCD and just trying to be the best version of myself for this tiny little human I have to keep alive every day.
Well, you look amazing.
Thank
by
you.
the way, also, it's just, I feel like that's been overlooked.
She ages backwards.
She does.
Thank
She
you.
does.
Botox.
She
I finally got Botox again.
She absolutely does. And what about you, Raquel?
So I am continuing this journey of finding myself and reflecting on who I am as a person, which includes journaling, meditating, listening to self-help books. I just finished listening to this book on Audible called How to Be Single. And it was like the quickest I've ever finished a book. I was like, wow, like this is so good. I'm just embracing the single life and focusing on myself.
So does that mean you're not dating?
I mean, I'm not opposed to dating, but like, I'm dating myself, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
It happens,
That's
it happens.
great. Absolutely. Well, guys, the drama is cooking. The pot is being stirred all over the place, and everybody's tuning into Vanderpump Rules this season for sure. So we're very entertained. Thank you guys for coming.
Thank you guys
to
so
talk to
much.
us. And everyone, you know, Wednesday nights, Bravo, Vanderpump Rules. Don't miss it. Thanks, guys.
Thank you guys. One more thing, though.
I got one more thing.
So do I.
I know what your one more thing is already.
Because I can't keep my freaking mouth shut when I'm excited to talk about something.
Yeah, I know.
Well, you go first.
So I'll go first because mine isn't necessarily like story time as much as I have a new favorite person on TikTok and I want to share. I don't know if you've seen him. His username is Octopus Lover.
I know this guy. I love these videos.
No.
Oh my God. Okay, I gotta show you. I gotta show you. This makes for a bad. This makes for a bad TikTok. I mean, bad podcast. Oh boy, now sounds just playing. Okay, so meanwhile, his followers exploded. Like 2 days ago, he was at 100,000. Now he's at 550,000. His name's Jake. His TikTok is at Octopus Lover 8 PUSS, not just octopus like the animal. Octopus.
Pussy.
Yeah. And so now he's been going viral because he does like present day reenactments of historical moments.
Oh,
but
that's a good idea.
People will like comment like, do this.
Yeah.
My favorite one's the Mona Lisa one.
Yes. Okay,
So
wait, I'm
funny.
gonna find. Okay, so this is the president.
I love when I see something on TikTok and I'm like, that's a good idea.
Yeah, he's like, so this is the president who didn't make Mount Rushmore.
Hi. Okay, just give it to
oh,
me
I
straight.
did see this. Yeah.
Did they say why? But George did?
I saw this one. That is
That
very
one
funny.
is
and
a really good one.
Like
Oh, wait,
I said,
no,
I
which
love
one
when
did
I
you say you
see-
like?
The
The
Mona
Mona
Lisa
Lisa
one
one?
is like one of the bigger
I
ones.
love when I see somebody with like a really good, like a good idea, and I'm like, that's so creative. Like, I wish I thought of that.
Oh, this
know?
you'll like this one. This is do one of the three women who saw Jesus wasn't in the tomb 3 days later.
That's so funny and such a good idea for people to comment, like telling him what to
Yes.
do. Oh my god, I love that. I have to watch
He's
these
not
later.
in there. They're so good, and the best is that whoever he has filming
They're just laughing.
them is like it's like a built-in laugh
Yeah.
track. So like because
Makes it
they
even better.
cackle, it makes it even funnier.
Yeah.
But they're so funny, and he's been doing them, and honestly, he is blown up from doing it, and like he's probably gonna be even more famous by the
Mm-hmm.
time this like comes out.
Did you see the
But
Neil
there's-
Armstrong one is so funny.
They're
Did you see
so
that?
yes.
I have to watch all those later.
I spent like 3 hours watching his TikTok last night.
One small step for man. Wonder where you got that from. I mean, I wasn't in full suit. No one was in full suit. Okay, Neil, I'm not. I'm not. Please enjoy your one small step. Actually, it's great because I came up with that when we were all meeting about what we were going to say when we were going to hold hands and walk out of the spaceship together.
No, they're
so-
so
that's so
fucking
funny.
funny.
I have to watch
I
more
have
of
to,
these
you know,
later.
like go down the rabbit hole. They're so funny. There's some really, really good ones. There's the Mona Lisa one is
Yeah.
he's like sitting and then he like he's like, okay, are we done? Like, did we get the shot?
I
He's
have
like,
to
send me
watch
the
these.
unedited ones.
Yeah.
first.
That's funny.
They're really funny. That's my one more thing. I
Yeah.
think everyone, if you have not checked him out, go follow him on TikTok. He's fucking
I'm gonna do
hilarious.
that later. It's
Yeah.
like guilty pleasure is just finding one person and just going down a rabbit hole.
Like
of
he's
their
gonna
stuff.
explode. I know he's
Yeah.
gonna end up on like fucking SNL or something.
Right.
Like he's so funny.
That's so funny. My one more thing is also about TikTok. I had started getting a lot of dolphin videos pop up on my page, which made me happy because it's a nice mix up from the usual really dark TikToks that I've gotten in the past, which I don't even want to bring them up because whatever.
That have to do with animals? or-
No,
like just dark in general.
Dark in general, whatever. I've talked about it
Yeah,
before.
yeah.
But I started getting dolphins, which I was like, yes, cool. Like,
Yeah.
dolphin TikTok.
Yeah.
And then I'm all excited about dolphins. I'm like, man, I love dolphins. I swam with the dolphins when I was younger. I'm all in on dolphins. I'm watching these cute dolphin videos. And the search, you know how they do the search thing if you click comments?
Yeah,
now,
yeah,
the search
yeah.
thing? One of them was dolphins are evil or dolphins being evil. And so I was inclined to click
Obviously
that.
clicked.
I clicked dolphins being evil, and my gosh, was I brought down a path that I didn't know about dolphins and people trying to cancel dolphins as if dolphins are fucking people.
Yeah.
And I started getting really upset. Dolphins, yeah, they may do inappropriate stuff, but they don't know what they're doing. They
Right.
don't know where they're sticking their nose, okay? They find a hole, they know it feels good, they're sticking it in there, but they don't have the conscience to be like, this is a bad thing.
No, I believe me, I completely agree with you. I
they're
think it's a crazy thing to
dolphins
argue about.
rape people
Yeah.
and dolphins
Well,
rape
other dolphins.
Yeah, or like
Or
people
yeah,
swimming
yeah,
in the
yeah,
ocean,
yeah,
they try to
yeah.
stick their nose up there, or
Yeah.
dolphins rape other dolphins, and it's
Yeah.
like I said, they're just sticking their nose in things and not knowing the effects it has on the other dolphin. Okay, and
And
people
the
are
other
trying
dolphins probably don't look at it as like
right,
bad.
and okay, they
They don't know. This is the thing.
They don't know. They don't have a
we
conscience like that.
I don't think we have the ability to make a clear statement on this because we have no idea if they do or do not know.
Right. We don't.
No one can confidently say they do know.
I don't
And no one
think-
can confidently say they don't know. Like, you know, there's like.
I don't think dolphins have a moral compass.
No,
and so I am sick of the people on TikTok trying to cancel dolphins. This woman made a TikTok and she was like, If you're
Now, what does cancel dolphins mean? Like we kill all the dolphins?
I'm about to tell you.
Okay.
She explained all these things. She said that they eat pufferfish because it gets them high. There's a toxin in pufferfish that gets dolphins high, and the dolphins like getting high, and so they eat these pufferfish to like experience a high. They kill baby dolphins because they want to mate with other dolphins. Dolphins don't have a moral compass. Let's just say that.
Well, there's a lot of animals that kill their young.
Right. But there's also very friendly, fun dolphins. And this woman makes a video and she's like, if your favorite animal or your friend's favorite animal is a dolphin, then they have issues and they have problems, and like you really need like going off about people's favorite. So now we're trying to cancel dolphins in this world. We're trying to cancel dolphins.
Yeah,
how are you going to cancel dolphins?
You know when you just see like people making TikToks about stuff like that, and the only thought you have is just like, mind your own business.
Right.
It's just
leave these dolphins alone. Don't worry about what they're doing. The dolphins don't care what you're doing. Yeah. What do you do in your spare time? The dolphins don't care. The dolphins are going to stick their noses wherever they want. They're going to get a high off pufferfish, and they're going to live very happy.
I know.
They're not here. The dolphins are not here to please you, lady. And if somebody's favorite animal is a dolphin,
we're the ones locking dolphins up in SeaWorld.
I am a dolphin fan, and I'm not afraid to say it. Yeah. I am a fan of the dolphin.
Not the team.
Not the team. I am a fan of the dolphin, the fish, right? Dolphins, are they considered they're a fish, right?
Are they?
No, dolphins are mammals.
A mammal. I am a fan of the mammal, the dolphin. And I have no problem saying that. Yeah. And I won't let society tell me that it's wrong to love dolphins. And everybody has their flaws. Yeah. And maybe dolphins have flaws. But
it's just like,
they don't know.
I don't know. I don't know.
I'm under the impression the dolphins don't know that what they're doing is wrong.
Okay? But they are smart.
They are very smart.
They are smart, but they weren't taught, you know?
No.
How do you know?
I don't know.
I'm looking at this. What doesn't fly
article.
here?
You think there's like extra horny dolphins?
Yeah, I'm looking at this article from an Emory neuroscientist. It says dolphins are sophisticated, self-aware, highly intelligent beings with individual personalities, autonomy, and an inner life.
But
they
so
are
are
vulnerable
dogs.
to tremendous suffering and psychological trauma.
Listen, what may fly.
But I think that also comes into play with like capturing them and keeping them in captivity and things like that. You know, because they are a more sophisticated creature.
I was gonna say what may.
The older a male dolphin is, the more likely his body is to be covered with bite scars. Male dolphins can get into disputes over companions and females.
Mm-hmm. I've tried to say this 3 times now, and now it's embarrassing that the listeners are going to hear me try to say this 3 times, but I'm going to get out what I was going to say. What may fly down there may not fly up here. What may not fly up here may fly down in the ocean. You know? Maybe it's okay to just stick your nose wherever you want in the ocean. But it's not okay here.
I love this. They engage in lengthy foreplay.
Dolphins are horny. Yeah, and dolphins like to get high.
Yeah.
And maybe humans and dolphins have more in common than we'd like to think.
They usually become sexually active at a young age.
But I think we can't just cancel dolphins and write them off.
Wow,
because I think
masturbate.
Dolphins are horny animals. But I don't think we could just write off dolphins as a whole.
Yeah. I'm really going down a rabbit hole of reading about dolphin brains.
Yeah, this is where I was at. And I just feel like there's a ton of animals that do crazy things, but we're not judging all of them and trying to cancel them.
Here's one that says, dolphins routinely show love for species not their own. Several dolphins have practiced random acts of kindness by rescuing swimmers from hammerhead sharks. A few generous dolphins have even guided stranded whales back to sea.
The nice videos I was seeing of dolphins were dolphins, you know, becoming friendly with humans, and the humans would go out on the boat to go visit this one dolphin every day, and they became friends. They became pals.
It's really quite a debate.
It is.
Here's this article. The headline is just "The Great Dolphin Dilemma." Dolphins, wild justice, the moral. Yeah, there's really In Defense of Dolphins, The New Moral Frontier is a book. This is saying we got to treat dolphins the same way as humans.
Like they're that smart.
Which I feel like is not what we're trying to say.
We can't treat them like humans.
Yeah.
They may have similar tendencies, but they don't have a human brain.
Yeah. Well,
Dolphins
a lot of these
don't have human brains.
A lot of these are more like, this says, in defense of dolphins combines accessible science and philosophy surveying the latest research on dolphin intelligence and social behavior to advocate for their ethical treatment. So I think that's more like, you know, when we SeaWorld and whatnot, when you have them in captivity.
Yes, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
Well, that was my one more thing, is that dolphins are getting slandered online, and I just feel like we shouldn't just write dolphins off, because we don't know what's going on in their brain. We don't know if they know between right and wrong. They just do what makes them happy down there in the ocean. I keep saying down there. Sometimes it's even level
in the ocean,
whether you're walking into the ocean or not. But I mean in the ocean.
In the seas.
In the seas. Yep. So I'm a dolphin fan. Sue me. All right, that wraps up today's episode of Chicks in the Office. We hope you have an amazing weekend. We will talk to you guys on Monday. Love you.